Next on Good Morning El Paso, the El Paso foster parents accused of sexually assaulting 2 children. One of them has now turned himself in. A neighbor is speaking out saying the man and his wife are wrongfully accused.
And city officials are looking to make some changes to El Paso's animal ordinance. Why the changes could affect the number of dogs you own also.
The fans deserve to have a good fight, deserve to be satisfied on Saturday.
Mayweather versus Pacquiao. The boxing match has been years in the making. A look at the insane amount of money the two could make this weekend.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning. We did it. We made it to the end of the work week. Here's a live shot of downtown El Paso this morning.
And it's shaping up to be a hot Friday. Already nice out there this morning, but there's more heat to come.
Exactly. Good morning, El Paso. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Let's get right to Crystal Cly and find out just how warm it could get this weekend.
And those warm conditions, they've been moving in the last 2 days, each day creeping up the temperature, but now we're talking 90s in the forecast. This morning, enjoy it while you can. We're at 61 degrees in El Paso. Right now, it is reporting to us some cloudy conditions. That's not accurate. We are clear outside, and winds are at 5 miles per hour. Las Cruces also clear, 53 the temperature this morning, and winds only 3 miles per hour. Just like we saw the last few days, winds not expected to be an issue. If anything is an issue, it's going to be the temps. Are you ready for that 90-degree mark is the big question. We're going to look at how high the temperature will go today, but also when will it start to drop off and move back into the lower 80s? It does happen on the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
All right, Crystal, thank you. To headlines now. One of the El Paso foster parents accused of sexually assaulting 2 children is behind bars this morning. 62-year-old Antonio Huerta turned himself into police yesterday. He's charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child. On Monday, police arrested his wife, 55-year-old Sandra Huerta. The couple allegedly forced a young boy and girl to participate in sexual acts. The accusers, who are now adults, say this happened from the year 2000 to 2002 at the couple's East El Paso home. And this is where the Huertas have lived since the late 1990s. On Tuesday, the ABC7i team uncovered the couple fostered more than 30 children over the last decade. And there were more than a dozen complaints filed against them, but nothing came of those investigations.
And we're now hearing from a neighbor of that couple. The man, who wants to remain anonymous, lived right near the Huertas until 2005. He says he's skeptical about the accusations. Only on ABC7.
Being there in their home, they were a very loving and caring family. I think they're being extremely wrongfully accused.
Antonio and Sandra Huerta had 4 biological children of their own, in addition to the 36 foster kids they cared for over the years. This neighbor says many of these foster children were troubled. A child advocate told us some children will lie on their foster parents with the hopes to get back home to their real parents. The neighbor says the Huertas showed signs of good parenting.
Sandra was a stay-at-home mom, and obviously it's a pretty big home. So to supplement income, she decided, well, we have extra rooms. She's a good parent, so it was, parenting to her is a, very natural thing for her.
With 16 cases previously opened against this family throughout their time as foster parents, police are taking these recent allegations very seriously. Investigators believe there may be even more victims out there who have yet to be identified.
1 child is dead, 2 others in the hospital following a 6-vehicle crash on I-10. This happened Wednesday night on I-10 East near Hawkins. 6-year-old Mark Viescas Jr. died at University Medical Center. A 3-year-old girl is listed in critical condition. An 8-year-old girl was upgraded to stable condition. Police say those kids were in the back seat of a Ford Taurus when it was rear-ended by a pickup. None of the children were buckled up. Police say it does not appear the 36-year-old driver of the truck that hit them was under the influence. A woman is recovering this morning after being thrown from a car. This happened around 7:30 last night at the intersection of Campbell and Nevada. A witness tells ABC7 she saw a man throw the woman from the car and run over her arm and leg and then drove off. Authorities have not told us the extent of her injuries or if that man was arrested.
And the investigation continues today into a deadly officer-involved shooting in the Lower Valley. It happened Wednesday night on the 300 block of Jesuit. Police say the officer, a 10-year veteran of the force, shot and killed 22-year-old Eric Salas Sanchez. Officers were responding to a burglary call at the time. That's when Sanchez, who was holding a metal object, allegedly threatened to kill the officers. The officer tased Sanchez, but it had no effect. Police say Sanchez then charged at the officer, and that's when he was shot. Still no word how many shots were fired. The officer is currently on administrative leave.
We're learning new details this morning about Eddie Gray's death. The police investigation is now in the hands of prosecutors who will decide whether to charge the officers involved in the case. ABC's BAZI KANANI is in Baltimore with the latest developing now.
The tension seen at support protests across the nation, like this one in Philadelphia, was no longer on display in Baltimore. Demonstrators standing strong through the rain, but peaceful and disbanding as requested at curfew, even as new information from police raised more questions about how 25-year-old Freddie Gray suffered a fatal spinal cord injury in police custody. Investigators reviewing surveillance video from this intersection discovered the police van transporting Gray made 4 stops, not 3, as previously claimed.
We are much more suspicious than before in light of that omitted information.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC affiliate WJLA there is medical evidence that Gray suffered a massive injury to the back of his head that closely matches a bolt located in the back of the police van. After turning over their preliminary report on Gray's death to the state attorney a day early, police stressed the investigation is not over.
Getting to the right answer is more important than the speed. Making sure that we look and overturn every rock is more important than just coming forth and giving a document.
Baltimore police say 95 officers were injured this week, some of them with bruises and concussions. They warn they will pursue charges against anyone caught acting out violently. BAZI KANANI, ABC News, Baltimore, Maryland.
The countdown is on to the most anticipated boxing showdown in years.
Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao take the ring tomorrow night. But win or lose, both fighters will take home a huge paycheck.
Good morning. El Paso's Denise Olivas is live right now with more on all the hype surrounding this. Good morning.
Good morning. And you know, it pretty much comes down to money. If Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. go all 12 rounds, that could generate $400 million. Mayweather, who is the highest paid athlete, will walk away with 60% of the revenue. Pacquiao, 40%. But we won't know the exact amount of dollars until after the fight. And get this, Pacquiao will take home $2 million alone just in the sponsorship titles on his trunks. Ticket prices for the Las Vegas match are through the roof, and then you throw in the gambling and the hotels charging thousands per night. But Saturday night in the stands will likely be more of a celebrity who's who than actual die-hard boxing fans. But millions will be watching at home, in the bars and restaurants around the world to find out who takes home the welterweight title.
I feel good. I feel strong. You know, it's time to fight now.
This fight is going to be not only to entertain people, but to give an inspiration.
I think aside from inspiration, many will also be left with empty pockets. But if you still don't know where you will watch the fight, we have a list of venues, including bars and restaurants across the city that will be showing the fight. You can check out KVIA.com for all that information. Hillary, Stephanie, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Denise.
A lot of money there.
All right. Let's take a look at traffic right now. Things are looking good. This is I-10 and Zaragoza beginning to pick up out there, but no problems to tell you about on the interstate throughout the borderland.
The deadline is here, and still no deal between the El Paso Children's Hospital and University Medical Center.
Later in this newscast, what the county judge says needs to happen next.
And our Fit for 15 segment is looking for a new participant. We saw our social media manager, Adrian Medina, lose more than 20 pounds during our first campaign. How you can enter. We'll tell you how.
And we all want to know how the weekend is going to be weather-wise, and Crystal Clyde's got a look at that for us. Good morning.
Good morning, and a hot afternoon is ahead of us. So why are we getting so warm, and how long will it last? We'll take a look right after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.